Hi everyone and welcome to part 2 of my Nottingham Forest career mode playthrough on FIFA 23. If you've not done so already, please check out the first episode of this series. But in today's video, it's really going to be picking up where we left off, following up on our decent start to the season with a victory over Bournemouth, and just following on from that, trying to build some momentum and carry that forward. In this episode, you'll see me strengthen the squad after getting rid of a few players and also playing some of the big boys in the league, culminating in a game against Manchester City. The first game featured in this second episode came against Fulham, and some neat build-up play led to Lewis O'Brien slotting past the keeper to make it 1-0 to the Reds. Not long after the first goal, and Lingard made it 2-0, racing beyond the Fulham back line and slotting beyond the hapless keeper. Great dancing moves on show as well. Start of the second half and things got a bit ugly when a Fulham player went scything in.
Not a great challenge, free kick here.
The free kick led to the third Forest goal, with Gibbs White exchanging neat passes with Awanayi before firing past the keeper. Late on, and Fulham were able to get a consolation goal with Carlos Vinicius getting in behind the Forest back line and slotting beyond the keeper. And that's how the game finished, 3-1 to Forest. Moving on to transfers now, and I could scarcely believe it that Wolfsburg, of all teams, were offering me 6.3 million for Chiku Kouyaté. This is a player that Forest have only themselves signed on a free transfer this summer. I then decided to make a punt for one of the hottest prospects in world football in Real Madrid midfielder Eduardo Camavinga. Here you'll see those negotiations and how it went with Carlo Ancelotti. And Carlo Ancelotti is all smiles as he makes his way into my office. Little does he know the derisory offer I'm about to make for one of his best midfield players. I'm sure that will wipe that smug look off his face. I decided to offer a cool 35 million and just see how that went down. I also decided to up the sell-on clause to 20%, but that just added to the tension. Carlo was not playing games here. He wanted £54.8 million and a 15% sell-on clause if he was going to do business for Camavinga. And that's a massive gap in what we can actually offer here at Nottingham Forest. So, all the best, Carlo. Sorry for wasting your time, but you're going to have to get that plane back to Madrid now, knowing that you've just wasted half a day of your life. Next up for Forest, and it was Moneybags United, aka Newcastle.
And although we're a long way away from the final, both teams will be looking to book their place in the next round in the hope of a
We couldn't have got off to a better start. Again, some great build-up play on show. Gibbs White feeding the ball through to Jesse Lingard, who raced clear and smashed it home. Have it, corner flag.
Well, here's the goal again, and what a wonderfully...
Two teams have switched around, and the second half is underway.
The start of the second half, and it was 2-0 to Forest. Again, some great build-up play, passing through the thirds. Awanayi this time slipping the ball through to Brennan Johnson, who finished with aplomb.
They've added to the lead, much needed security.
Thick and fast. It should be a good game, that. Hopefully I've not just given it the commentator's curse.
And on 75 minutes, Forest again absolutely ripping Newcastle to shreds, with Lingard getting us a third goal. and again some great dance moves on show. But yeah, looking at the stats, very dominant performance from the Reds there. Following on from the Newcastle game, and I decided to expand my scouting network and go into new territories to try and find some hidden gems. And now it was time to say goodbye to Clough. Listen mate, I know you only came 2 weeks ago, but that's 2 weeks too long, and there's the door. Ta-ta. Yep. I was still trying to make moves in the transfer window, and this time I negotiated with Chelsea to try and sign their midfield player Conor Gallagher. An absolutely derisory offer of 10 million for an England international was enough to really piss Graham Potter off. He felt like he'd wasted his time, nowhere near a serious offer, and he's literally not even wanting to negotiate, he's just had enough. I then decided to turn to Yacine Adli because things were getting a bit desperate at this stage, AC Milan midfielder. And for once, I was finally starting to make a breakthrough. I steamed straight in with an offer of 15 million, which was more than acceptable to the AC Milan boss. Breakthrough, an offer was accepted, and now I was going to get to the stage where I could actually negotiate a contract with a footballer. Happy days. After losing the midfield masters Kouyaté and Arta, I decided I needed some extra steel in the engine room and turned my attention to Sambi Lokonga from Arsenal. That's purely based on the fact that I really liked his name. Again, I felt like 15 million was going to be a good transfer offer and a sweet spot to get a deal over the line, and that's what I went in with. Much to my amazement, Arsenal made a counter offer which was less money, 7.5 million, but they also wanted Willy Bolly in return. Like, what kind of crazy transfer is that? Arteta, mate, what were you thinking? You need to sort yourself out, dude. It was now time to get these midfield players to sign their life away to the cause that was Nottingham Forest. Here he is, Tony Adler. Starting off with the role, I felt that a player of Adler's stature would be an important player for the club, so that's what I went with. It was then time to negotiate the duration of the contract, and I felt a player of Adler's potential and his young age meant that a 4-year contract was adequate and good for all parties. And it was great to know that he didn't want to negotiate a release clause. Now on to the contract offer, and I decided to go with a wage of 40k and a signing on bonus of 250k. I felt that was a very fair offer. and so did the player. And the deal was struck. We had our first signing. And here he is, our new recruit making his way into the building. Good to see you, mate. Welcome on board. So according to the game, that was very poor negotiation, and I actually lost out some money there by basically going in at a larger fee than I should have done. So yeah, bad negotiation, and hopefully it's something that we can learn from. Moving on to Lokonga's contract offer. And as you can see, he's already on close to 50 grand at Arsenal. I decided again that a squad role of important would be suitable. And I also decided that I would agree to offer him a 5-year contract due to his age and his potential. The cheeky little brat and his Jackie Chan lookalike agent decided they wanted a release clause in the contract of 36.7 million. I'm not one for putting release clauses in, and I tried to counter this, increasing it to a larger fee, but nevertheless, they weren't having any of it, and I needed to offer that release clause to get the deal over the line. I suppose one good thing from my perspective is that if I do end up having to sell him, I know I'm going to get a good chunk of cash down for him, so I decided to entertain it and to get the deal done. I went in pretty low initially with my wage offer and also the signing bonus, but these guys were playing hardball and they was holding me to ransom. They wanted ultimately 39.5k and also a larger signing bonus and also a bonus based on 10 appearances for the club. So me being me, soft touch, decided to accept it, and there's one happy player and agent there knowing that they've just got exactly what they wanted. And we have another one through the door. Lokonga turns up for his first day, ready to do his medicals and everything else that goes on behind the scenes. There you see him on his exercise bike. Good output. Holding up the shirt, doing all his media stuff. Good lad. Unfortunately, again, it was bad negotiation and I could have actually got the player much cheaper. Anyway, on to the next game in the league, and it was Everton up next.
And this situation could be dangerous.
Everton actually started really well, testing the goalkeeper there, and then from the following corner, Connor Cody gets his big 50 pence head to the ball and nods it beyond the keeper. 1-0 to Everton.
Well, here it is again. It's a well-delivered ball into the box. They need to be far more inventive in the final third if they're to turn.
Heading towards the end of the first half, and we had our tails up. Johnson almost getting in behind, but some really good defending there from Everton. The ball was recycled well though, and some good neat interplay around the edge of the box led to a goal from Jesse Lingard.
Well, we won't get tired of watching this because the interplay around the box is wonderful. And then the shot is emphatic. He strikes.
After the break and not long into the second half, and we managed to take the lead. A good pass in behind from Awanai, finding Gibbs White, who slid the ball into Jesse Lingard for his second goal of the game. And his trademark dance.
Well, as you can see, the defending is really poor, but he won't mind. It's a simple finish for him.
And that's how it finished, 2-1 to Forest, and the third victory in a row to start the campaign.
The final whistle. The home fans are going to be happy with this result.
Well, it's another good display, and I have
Frank
to say,
Lampard
a
shaking his head,
well-deserved
looking
win.
pretty
They've
miserable
looked a
there,
really
and who
strong
can
side
blame
at
him?
the moment. They just need to keep it going now.
Lingard there leading the celebrations, and who can blame him with 2 goals, 5 attempts on goal,
I would say he was average today.
and he's absolutely
He can't be
flying
his
so
best
far
every
this
week.
season.
He just did a good.
All the attention on Lucas Hernandez. A big day for him.
And following the Everton game, it was Man City at the Etihad. Games do not get much bigger than this, and it was our sternest test of the season to date.
I'm joined for expert analysis by my partner Stuart Robson, and it's all about action from the Premier League in this case.
Fans belting out Blue Moon.
Nottingham Forest.
Well, Derek, when looking forward to this game, you can't help but notice there are some great.
And our Nye
all
trying
over
to
the
snap
pitch,
the mascot's
particularly in
neck.
those central areas. Whichever
Get
team
into him,
wins more
son.
of those battles will win the game.
Pep watching on, appreciative of the crowd, and the players thinking about how many goals they can put past my Forest back line.
And a look at the starting 11 for Manchester City. Ederson begins
Interesting
his
to
goal.
take a look at the Man City team here and see that they've signed Lucas Hernandez and also Goretzka from, I believe, Bayern Munich.
And it's with Gibbs White.
Not long into the game, and we got off to an absolutely flying start. Johnson screaming down the right, and Awanai tucking the ball home. 1-0 to Forest.
Well, just look how he holds off the defender.
Great play by O'Brien to win the ball back in midfield led to another good opportunity on goal. Awanai shooting, but a great save there from Ederson. Half an hour into the game, Haaland has his first effort on goal.
Now need to respond here.
Into the second half then, and Man City was now in the ascendancy. Some good football down the left, saw Haaland. It's a great shot beyond Henderson. 1-1.
Well, they couldn't keep it.
Not long after though, and this was turned into a basketball game, we managed to take the lead again. Awanai controlling on his chest and smashing beyond Ederson. 2-1 to Forest.
Superbly done.
Well, here's the replay, and it all starts with the delivery into the box. Just begging someone to get on the end of it. But then you have to ask what's going on with it.
Man City though were still looking very dangerous, and a ball inside to Haaland. Snapshot, and the keeper managed to palm it round the post.
His movement has been excellent.
Unfortunately though, from the following corner, De Bruyne headed the ball past the goalkeeper. 2-2. We now had some really good chances to take the lead again. Awanai the first racing through and trying to pull the ball back, but a good block from Stones.
Because I believe there's been a goal at the Vitality Stadium.
And then Brennan with a good opportunity, racing through, but a great save there from Ederson, and then with a follow-up. A loose pass though by Ederson, and Johnson had an effort where he chipped it over him, and it looked all the world like it was going to be a goal, only for the defender to clear it off the goal line. There was still time for one more goal in this game, and Man City was breaking forward in the 90th minute. Foden again down the left, pulling the ball back for Haaland, who managed to squeeze it through the legs of Henderson, and it was 3-2 to Man City. And with that, it was full time, and it was Forest's first defeat of the season.
Well, Derek, it was a poor result, but it was a really tight contest. Both sides had their chances.
Pep rightly congratulating the manager on what was a fantastic effort from his Forest players. Haaland is just a freak of nature though, in real life and on FIFA 23.
Well, he gave that back line a torrid time, didn't he? He was far too sharp.
Despite the loss there was plenty of positives, and we
Took his
actually
goals well
just
too.
about edged it in terms of opportunities. And in terms of the actual league standings now, we're actually 4th in the table and doing really well. I think in the next episode I'm actually going to increase the difficulty to world class, just to sort of make it more of a challenge despite losing that last fixture. Join me next time, and don't forget to like and subscribe.